in our last chat something about fallbacks. So
Yeah.
maybe we can learn today what exactly is a fallback.
Yeah, I can. So a fallback is what happens when a user types in an input in the chatbot that the bot doesn't detect.
Okay.
So if you ask your local delivery chatbot what the weather is like today, then of course it won't be able to answer that question, and then it will give a fallback. So you can design these fallbacks in any way you like.
So essentially, when you ask about weather to a chatbot that's meant to tell you where is my package,
Yeah.
it will trigger something that's known as a fallback, which
Yeah.
essentially means that the chatbot will say something like, sorry, I'm just a delivery bot and I don't know anything about the weather.
Yeah, and here you can also take advantage of this fallback, because it's not only a bad thing, it's also like it's a tool, these fallbacks. So you can say, I don't know anything about that, I just know something about delivery questions. Here are some of the things you can ask me about, and then you can put in different buttons, or you can kind of use these tools to control the conversation.
Okay, so you can essentially guide the person who's chatting with the bot to actually say that, okay, you're going a little bit outside the scope of my knowledge,
Yeah.
so why don't you ask me about where is your pizza, or
Yeah.
do you want to order another pizza, or you can give the person a couple of options so that you can pull them back into the conversation.
Exactly. And then you can also set custom fallbacks, so you can set up different types of fallbacks. For example, one general fallback, but also one fallback if the user gives a very long input. For example, I've been thinking about this and that, but then I had problems with my boss telling me this and so on.
Okay.
And then the bot should say something like, that is a bit too complex for me to
Okay, can you please make it short? Something like that the bot will say, of course, but more
or
nice.
maybe it's too complex. I think you should talk with a human from our company, or
Okay.
something like that, right?